Welcome to another episode of the Urban Scope podcast. We got another good one for you here today. So today I'm doing an actual TV show review, my first one I've done on this podcast. I'm very excited about the new Penguin series that's on HBO Max right now. It's only one episode out right now, but it's very interesting, very exciting, and it actually had a meaning behind the first episode that I believe is going to set the tone for the series. Hopefully, they get another season and they get to build on the character development and things like that. But I'm gonna go through some takeaways that I had from the first episode. The first episode, of course, was very lengthy because it's kind of giving you the background of the Penguin, um, whose real name was Oswald Cobblestone. What Cobblepot? Sorry, I'm not a big comic book guy, so I didn't know much background on him. Didn't know much about him other than he was a villain of Batman and he lived in a sewer and he ate raw fish and stuff like that, similar to a penguin. So I didn't know much about him, so I didn't have many expectations coming into watching the episode. But leaving the episode, I was very intrigued and very excited for the rest of the series or the rest of the season. So they introduced many characters in the first episode. Of course, there was the penguin. They introduced one of the mob bosses who took over for took over for his father who recently just died. Um, and that's how we kind of got introduced into the penguin earlier to the episode. Um, and also another main character that they played, that they displayed was a younger kid who tried to steal the penguin's car, and he kind of became a sidekick for the penguin or one of his right hand man, so to speak. Even though it looks like he's about 16 or 17. Uh, well, at least that's what they were trying to portray him as. He was very naive and very young and very scared and very he was an inner city youth. He was kind of a poor kid trying to steal a car, just to make some money. Um, but he ended up becoming friends with the penguin. But beside that, the story developed. It was about an hour and 7 minutes, so the episode was pretty detailed, and it kind of went through a lot of different characters, but it mostly focused on those two characters throughout the episode. Um, so it kind of talked about. Uh, so in my opinion, um, the episode kind of based around ambition, about how the penguin wanted more and how he didn't want it to be content. They kind of described him at the beginning as a low level criminal, low level affiliate of a mob, and he wanted more. He was very humble at the beginning. He was kind of antagonized by the mob boss's son, who just recently took over. The mob boss's son kind of said, "Hey, you're not going to be anything. Who's going to listen to a guy named Oswald Cobblepot?" And he kind of went back and forth with him. And then, of course, the penguin eventually killed him. And he got this young kid to kind of haul his body around and stuff like that. But it kind of showed the story of kind of like how you shouldn't estimate people and how you shouldn't, if you treat everybody with respect and you don't underestimate anyone, you shouldn't have any problems in life. Not to that degree of what the penguin did, but just to the degree of just anything in life, no matter what you're doing, whether you're in school, whether you're at work, or um, or whether you're just on a sports team. Never underestimate someone. We see upsets all the time in sports. The number one ranked team loses to some unranked team or some team that's ranked, that's heavily favored to lose the game against them. So it's always important to never underestimate anyone and to respect everyone. And that's what the penguin wanted. He wanted people to respect him, and he wanted to be um, a boss in his own right. He didn't settle for being the proletariat, so to speak. He didn't want to be the bourgeoisie, but of course, he didn't want to be. He wasn't satisfied with being just a worker. He believed he had the leadership and the skills to lead his own regime. Um, so, like, I live by that example a lot. Like, that it's okay to work, a regular job and stuff like that, but it's always good to strive for more. If that's what you want to do in life, that's fine. But nothing. I guess nothing kind of turns me off more than someone who doesn't have any ambition and just settles for less, even when they know they can do more. Always strive for greatness. Always strive to push yourself farther. Um, the rapper Jay Electronica had a quote that says, "Familiarity doesn't breed gratitude, only content." But with the penguin story, it kind of gave me another perspective. Familiarity doesn't breed gratitude; it just breed resent. A lot of time you resent the position that you're in, and you resent, um, your placement upon where you are. Sometimes you always feel like you can do better, and you can do better, and you just have to take those steps. And the penguin was willing to take those steps to do what he had to do to get where he wants to get as a boss. And of course, throughout the season, we'll find out more to see if what he does to actually get to that point. Because right now, he only has one person working for him, a young kid who's very inexperienced, doesn't know anything about the life, and is kind of getting tutored along the way by the penguin. So it'll be very interesting to see where it goes from here. To see the dynamics and the obstacles that they'll have to face. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it'll be some big obstacles that they'll have to face going through. So that's very exciting to see. I'm just looking forward to the character development a lot. I know I keep bringing the character development up, but um, watching the series from its inception is very. I never really catch them that way. Some of my favorite TV shows like The Wire and Breaking Bad and um, some of the Power series shows, I didn't catch from the beginning. I always caught from second or third season. Even The Wire, I caught it years after it was already off the air. And I believe it went off in '08. I didn't start watching it till maybe 2012 or so. So a lot of the series I catch late, but recently I've been catching more of them. Recently I've been catching more of them in its inception, so I'm able to see the characters develop in real time, opposed to just watching the reruns. So I just think they did a good job with this pilot episode. Like I said, I didn't come in with any expectations for the episode. I didn't come in with any uh I didn't come in with anything I was expecting. The only thing I really expected was just to be introduced to some characters, maybe see Batman. We didn't see him in episode one, of course. I'm pretty sure he'll make a cameo at some point in the season, probably towards the end of the season. But I think they're shooting a new Batman too, so it's kind of amazing that they're able to use the same Batman, which I think is can't think of the guy's name. I think it's Colin Farrell. Um, but they used him in the first Batman that came out a couple years ago. But the new Batman, I think, comes out in a couple of years. So um, they kind of intermingling the same characters and the same roles. So they did a very good job. I just think I just want to see where it goes from here and what new characters they introduce. Because, like I said, I'm not a comic book guy. I'm not aware of all the characters that were surrounding him. I don't know if they're going to introduce like the Riddler or Bane or somebody like that along the way. I'm pretty sure he's going to have adversaries as he comes along and makes his ways to the top. Right now, he's just kind of manipulating his way out as he kind of sorts through the business. But yeah, it's a very good episode. I definitely recommend it. Check out the episode. Um, leave comments on this podcast episode. Let me know what you think about the episode after you watch it. Like and subscribe to the channel as well. All right. Well, that's another episode. Thanks for tuning in.